All right, ladies and gents, thank you for joining us. We are here, the Black Summit. I'm Hendricks.
And I'm Brooks.
And yeah, so we're glad to have you guys with us back again. It's a lot of interesting things going on in the media. First off, I'd like to ask you, I know you heard about Ja Morant, right?
I did. Craziness. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that this is all going on.
Some people say the Idiot of the Year award.
What sucks is he's a really promising guy, you know?
Man, he's like the franchise of Memphis Grizzlies, right?
Yeah. And I mean, he could have become the face of the NBA.
You think so?
Like.
You think he has that potential?
Because he's very flashy, and to me that's
definitely
very
flashy.
That's very box office, and I mean people.
Yeah, he do put ass in seats.
And I think
he does that definitely.
What sucks is like a lot of kids, I feel like, were like flocking around him, like the way that we used to flock around like Derrick Rose.
And he just got, he got his Nike deal too, right? Do you think Nike is they're gonna stick with him, or they're gonna part ways? Or what do you think? I mean,
I don't know, man. Nike's been doing some weird stuff.
You think so? They stuck by Kaepernick. I mean,
well, they didn't stick by
who?
The other guy.
Who's the other guy?
He just went to Dallas.
Irving.
Irving.
Yeah. Irving.
I thought they dropped him.
No, Irving has sneakers.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he displayed his new sneakers at the All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They stuck with Irving. But so just in case if you are living under a rock and you haven't heard this story, which everyone should, but Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzly basketball player, brandished a gun on live, right?
Yeah.
And
Instagram Live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he he got suspended for 2 games, so now the Memphis is saying that he will be out for 4 games. At one time, I thought I allegedly heard he got suspended indefinitely or whatever, but apparently that's not the case. So, and I'm reading ESPN, and it says Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant will not face criminal charges stemming from his Instagram Live video in which he appeared to display a handgun at a nightclub, the Glendale, Colorado Police Department announced Wednesday afternoon. The All-Star guard previously apologized for the incident in a statement released Saturday afternoon and has been away from the team as the NBA conducts its investigation. The Grizzlies said in a statement Wednesday that Morant will remain away from the team for at least the next 4 games. That means the earliest the All-Star guard could return is March 17th against San Antonio. So what you think about that? I mean, I think it's good that he's not suspended indefinitely, but it was a very idiot mistake, man. It's just asinine.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. It was stupid. It was idiotic. It was it was not. How would you say that? I mean, he's super like naive and like I don't know, man. To me, this is childish behavior.
Very, very. I mean, it's like you're
immature.
In the NBA. I mean, do you?
He's worth millions of dollars and could be worth even more than that. If he,
I heard he's about to get supposed to have a big mega contract.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's like allegedly. I don't know if it's $200 million or for over 6 years or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But it's like, when do you stop portraying the thug like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, look here. Let me tell you something.
I think it goes to a deeper issue, though.
If that was me, and I had the NBA can give me a contract for $5 million, I wouldn't even be able to spell gun. I couldn't even spell it. I'm saying, man, I'm just like, dude,
Well, I think it goes to a deeper issue, I feel like, in our community, where it's like, people always want to have like this street cred about them, and if you don't have the street cred, to me personally, that's how I feel. I mean, I see it even like with my nephew. Like this dude, he's had his father around, he's had, grandfather
and
around.
never struggled, right?
He never struggled. And like he's trying to act like he's all hood. It's like, dude, what is that about?
What is
like
up
where
with
did that
I don't understand it. I mean,
like where did that come from?
I grew up like, as young, I hustled a little bit in the street and things like that. Did I have to do it? No, it's something that I choose to do, right?
Right.
And you know, I knew growing up that's nothing that I want to continue, you know what I'm saying, in my life or whatever, you know what I'm saying. My mother's a nurse, and single parent home, but you know, we were still good, you know what I'm saying. And I don't understand why some people feel that like you said, the street cred thing, that validates them, you know, especially once you've made it and you're making millions, you just got a big, you know, you got your Nike deal and everything like that. And I saw an Instagram post, he literally, it's like he bought a little community, like a local, he got a house, his dad got a house, right? Like they own the whole like little cul-de-sac. It's his house, his dad's house, and somebody else. And I'm like, dude, you taking care of your family and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And you grew up 2-parent household, so you know, not saying just because you grew up 2-parent household you can't be struggling, but really he had a loving family to care, support him, and everything like that. But what's up with the street cred? Because, and I'm gonna tell you, even remember that time Justin Bieber was doing that same dumb shit, and he grew up in Canada, a white boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He in the club, you know, thugged out with jewelry on, and after a while, I guess he got in church and he said, "Man, I gotta cut this foolishness out." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it just, I think people just want to feel cool. They just want to feel like they're a part of something. And it's like, you don't have to do all of these, like, what would you call? I mean, I guess stereotypical things that people would think in order to get that credit or whatever. I don't know, man. I think we've got to, like, figure out, how to not make people feel like they have to be pressured into doing that. Because I feel like even when I was growing up, I felt a little bit of pressure, especially, if you hung out with those kind of dudes, like, they're like, oh yeah, you walking around like all goofy and stuff, like,
because you grew up in Cali, right?
Yeah.
Where the gangs at? was you banging?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't really around that as much, like I could have been. I knew some people, but, thank God that, like, my parents, homeschooled us, kind of kept us away from that life.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't, my brother was probably more closer to those people than I was ever, and I'm grateful that I never really got close to those kind of people, because it's something that I feel like you could be easily sucked into because of how it makes you feel. Like you feel like you're a part of something,
right?
But I mean, like, I didn't need that street cred.
So let me ask you.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I had gotten into that life.
What stopped you from, because you said your brother was closer, what stopped you from, like, because you're the younger brother, right? And you look up to your older sibling and things. You want to be like them. You think they're cool or what have you. What stopped you from, like, you said, going that route that you could have got sucked up into that life?
I think my brother wasn't the biggest influence in my life. I think my dad was the biggest influence in my life. And so, like, him being a Christian man and him being an entrepreneur and him having his own business, like, to me, that seemed cooler than, trying to, like,
live the street life.
Live that street life, walk around with colors on and, like, bandana in the back of your pocket type thing. Like that, to me, going and making money and, like, being about family seemed cooler than me. I don't know why.
The legit way.
Yeah.
The legit way.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know why at a young age that, like, hit me more, than anything else. But, like, I was about that more than anything when I was younger. I mean, I remember, like, trying to, like, create my own little businesses and all kinds of stuff. But it was mainly because of the influence of my dad, being around. Like, that was a bigger influence to me than my brother was.
Well, let me ask you this. Then, since you said your brother was a little bit more closer to the street, did he kind of look at you like a square?
Actually, I mean, like, I think I was always naturally, like,
a square.
I was just different, like, I'm like a creative. I'm to me, like, it would have been weird if I had ever gotten into like anything like that, because I would have been trying to change it. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
That, you know, like put my own creative spin on things. My brain just thinks different, you know? So I don't know, you know, but yeah, I mean, like I was just different, you know, like
so
I didn't have that kind of energy.
And so he didn't look at you like, oh man, you know, you ain't down or nothing like that. He was just like, man, that's just Brooks. He just
I mean, I remember like a lot of my family, I feel like they're like, oh yeah, Josiah doesn't really like listen to this type of music or something like that. Even though, you know, I listen, you know, I like Drake. I listen to Lil Wayne, like I listen to like all these like rappers, but like I'm not gonna be listening to no NBA YoungBoy and all these other.
But that's your neck of the woods, man. What's up with that, man? Bompton.
Hey, I ain't listening to no YG.
You know how you can do that, man? I like your boy though. I thought he was from the South. Kind of fun. He's from Cali.
Who that?
Oh man, he sung that song. What's that one? Push it. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, what is the dude's name? He had that song. So, I'm in love with the cocoa.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about now.
OT Genesis.
Yeah.
Dude, when I first heard him, I said, man, dude, what part of down south he from? Kind of found a dude from Cali. I was like, what? But he made some bangers. He made some bangers though. I give him that, you know. So Cali, you know, some of them dudes was like, you know, they had some bangers out there. I mean, no pun intended, not gangbang as far as music wise. They had some bangers, man, you know.
Yeah.
Hitting on some stuff.
Yeah. Did you have any run-ins with street life or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was, like I said, man, when I was young, you know, I was a little knucklehead and things like that. See, like with me.
Did you feel like you were pressured into that, or do you feel like it was?
No. See, with the way I grew up, it was never pressure. It was like from my neighborhood to like high school. Let's just say high school or whatever. Because middle school, you wouldn't know enough to work. But if you worked and we was in middle school, your ass was too old to be in middle school. You know what I'm saying? But you know, ever since from middle school, my friends, you know, they mess with narcotics, you know what I'm saying? And friends I was around and stuff like that. But it wasn't like I wasn't hustling. There wasn't no pressure, nothing like that, you know? So then in high school, I got a job. And, you know, so I had my little money. My mother was like, look, you're going to learn some responsibility. So she's like, you're going to pay a bill, which she was doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Because as an adult, we got to pay bills all. So me, I'm thinking like, man, you know, I work 2 weeks, get my little, you know, I might get feeling good. I got a little $200 check. My mom done bust my check down. I only got about $80 out of that. I was like, man. So, you know, I went to go buy a little cop, a little something, start hustling. You know what I'm saying? So I can have extra money on the side, things like that, you know. Because I had friends who would doing it, but it was never like, oh, man, you need to get down this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that we was doing. We thought we were cool. We thought it was cool. You know what I mean? And things like that. But it was never no pressure because I didn't have to do it. None of us probably had to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's something we did, you know? Like, I remember I used to work at this one place as an adult. I used to work for the Department of State. And this one young lady who was working, you know, you just talking to people, you meeting your coworkers and things like that. And she happened to tell me, she was way younger than me, she happened to tell me, she mentioned her sister's name. I was like, oh man, you know, I know her because I didn't know too many girls named Ursula. You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, I went to school. I know her. I went to school. She said, yeah, that's my sister. I said, oh, okay. I didn't know she had a sister. So then I guess she went home and she had talked to her sister about me. So then the next day I come back to work and the girl came up to me. She said, yeah, I asked my sister if she knew. She said, oh yeah, I remember him. He used to hang with them bad kids. So I just started laughing, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, the friends I used to hang with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we was all street dudes, you know what I mean? So it was like when I went to school, either you work or your family you had a part-time job or something like that, or your family had money or you hustle. You know what I'm saying? Or you did both, you know what I'm saying? And reason, you know, I did a little bit of both because I can't just hustle in the street and buy sneakers or bring clothes back home. My mom like, what the hell is this? You ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way I can do it. Like some kids could just straight hustle. I have friends who parents were selling some of their dope too. But you know, I'm telling you, man, they, you know. And then with crazy, fast forward years later, I end up buying a duplex in them same communities. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That I, you know what I mean? So you know, rent, you know, investment property in those same communities. You know, once I wise up and you know what I'm saying, and start going that legit route and things like that. But you know. Yeah. Everybody got a pass, but I mean, back to Ja though. I mean, I just think that because you know he didn't had other run-ins too with some hood stuff. Like I think
they thought he did a drive-by or something like that.
Didn't he like allegedly beat up like a 17 or 18-year-old some kid or something like that? Or
okay, was it that? I thought I heard something.
Somebody drive-by.
Yeah, but maybe it was the beat up. I was thinking
beat down. They might have fought. Might have. Who knows? It might have been
too many stories, man.
I was like, yo, bro, you got to fall
trying
back,
to act
man.
Hood.
And he's only 23. He's young. He's younger than my nephew.
Yeah, I know.
Dang, man. And my nephew ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying? And you got potential to make. You're making millions, and you got potential to make even more.
You're talking about generational wealth that he could, you know, bring to his family.
He's probably the first generation millionaire. Yeah. And, you know, and for us black families in America, it ain't that many of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and we very, very far in between. You know what I'm saying? Because some families don't even have, you know, some people never even went to college in some families. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, for that, you know.
You hate to see it, man. You hate to see it.
You heard what Shannon Sharp said? You know, he ain't no gangster.
What
Shannon Sharp said, look, which I understand. He said, look, I don't know why you portraying this life or what validation you feel you got to portray out this life. Oh, we getting. But it's, hey, we ain't trying to be romantic now. The lights are on. The timer just let y'all know we ain't about to be cozy up in here. But Shannon Sharp was saying that, you know, you're not about this life, right? Yeah. Like me, I'm not about this life. You know what I'm saying? I have partners who deceased from a long time ago and who have actually, you know, I know people who actually, you know, killed someone and things like that, you know. But he said, look, dude, you're not, your life is set now. You're doing good. You got a career. You're not about this life. I don't know why you want to portray this particular life. And he says, you know, you keep doing this. Then one day somebody, and you in Memphis.
I know.
Somebody going to test you and see if you really about what you saying. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, it's like my boy. I saw an interview with my man who owned Suave out of Texas. He had a good saying. Jay Prince, you know who Jay Prince is, right?
Yeah.
So like how you was talking about earlier about Tekashi, right? Mm-hmm. He was portraying that life, but he wasn't about that life, right?
Exactly.
So he had some run-ins with Jay Prince's son. And Jay Prince then was an interview, and he said, look, he said he didn't want no harm to come to the young man, because they know you're not about this life that you portraying, right? Mm-hmm. So he had a good comment. He said, look, you know, and I guess to some degree what Shannon Sharp trying to say about Ja Morant, he said, look, if you keep campaigning, eventually you gonna get elected. You know what I mean? So you need to fall back. You need to. So me, that street life, man, you know, it's easy to get caught up, but I'm not about that life. You know, I don't want none of my people to be about that life. I want us all to prosper and make legit money and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you think, man? What you feel about it? Are you about that street life? Or you done?
I'm not even trying to be about the street life. Yeah. I mean, like, especially if I was making as much money as them, like you said, I wouldn't even know how to spell gun. You know, like it's so like, I mean, with Tekashi, like, you know, doing a very similar thing. How you gonna make your first million and then start trying to get into a gang? That's like, my God.
I'm like, what? That's backwards. I'm like,
yeah, it's like, come on now. You know, you can't be doing that stuff.
Yeah, he blood, and then get locked up. Yeah. As soon as he starts snitching on everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And they know that dude, he's not about that life. They riding that coattail because he making that money. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Well, we got to stop making it cool. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like people glorify it too much, and a lot of these young dudes, they don't know anything about it, and they try to act like they about it. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm tired of seeing like young black people get killed over this stuff too. I mean, with like some of the rappers that have died over like these street cred wars or whatever. I mean, it's sad to see. So
very sad, man.
But yeah, I just hope that like Ja goes. I hope Ja goes and like finds some mentors who can like sit him down and like tell him, yo, like cut this shit out. Like you don't need to be doing that, because he doesn't need to be doing it. So.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be doing it, man. Definitely not.
Hopefully, he listens to Shannon Sharp.
He doesn't need to be doing it, man. I mean, man, his career is, his career is bright. You know what I mean? He's bright.
He's box office, man.
Yeah, and he got thousands of fans and everything, man. I hate to see the brother, but to go down. But he made a mistake. Do you think he deserves a second chance?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of people out there who deserve a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he deserves a second chance too, I'm glad, he's not suspended indefinitely. You know what I mean? I'm sure he will learn from this. He may have to do, me and one of my buddies, I was talking to him, and he said he might have to do a lot of community service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that's what it takes, talk to the youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever he got to do, man.
First, he's got to get right in his head before he goes and talks to the youth.
Yeah.
Because, I mean.
Honestly, and I think he is right in the head. I just think he just got caught up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What? Because he did. I'm sure he doesn't live that way. You know what I mean? The big old house, and he might have some street friends, some of his friends or whatever, and some of them dudes still going or whatever the case may be. But I think he got caught up in that moment, man, and just you know what I mean? Something you don't need to be doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough when you're young.
Yeah, very tough when you're young, man. Very tough when you're, but we shouldn't put that pressure on ourselves. He might have put it, because I'm pretty sure, man, if he got some real friends riding for him, they need to pull himself like, yo, man, you don't need to be doing this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we in the street or whatever, that's a true friend. Like, man, bruh, your career is set. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be back here with us or what we doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And those are the type of friends you need to have around you.
It's true.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. But now, I want to talk about now. Talk about sex.
I know where you're going.
Talk about the nasty. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. What's two things you think is universal? Cross cultures, any country, two things. Even if they don't do, they know about.
As far as sex goes?
No. Just two things.
Two things. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Two things I believe, no matter where you go on this planet, no matter what culture, indigenous people, whatever. Well, definitely one thing. That's sex. Even if you don't speak the same language. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And one thing I think that, I don't know. I can't even say that. Maybe some remote places. No, but to say maybe if it's not universal. I think marijuana, weed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows about cannabis, smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? Unless if if some remote island who just cut off from all civilization. But I don't know of too many indigenous people like that. I'm not saying there aren't any. They may have some form of smoke. I don't know if it's marijuana.
They have an island that hasn't been inhabited, and the people on that island, they still they're like years ago, the way that they live. You know, like they're still walking around with sticks,
Very
with
remote.
like, you know,
they
spears and all
black
kinds
people?
of stuff. I think they are, yeah.
I might have seen that.
Yeah, I saw something like that.
I saw. Oh no, and white people came there.
Yeah,
and they thought
and
that
they
they were
killed them.
like, and they think that the white people are like their ancestors that went on or something like that. And they showed them how to make rice and gave them rice and things like that. Yeah.
Well, the one I heard about, everybody that gets close gets killed. So they're like killing them. And they're saying that we shouldn't even go over there and like try to like, I don't know,
Where's it at?
mess with those people. I forget where it is.
You mightn't go because you black.
No, I mean, really, probably because we're such immune to a lot of diseases and stuff like that. We would probably give them disease by going over there, because you know they still live like
Very
you know,
primitive.
This is like, I don't know.
Yeah, they probably
way
live very
back in the day. So,
But anyways, but about the sex. You heard, well, this also is Tennessee. This one is in Nashville. You heard about the cop who was having she got fired for having sex with the other on duty officers, right?
Yeah, I think I did.
You heard about that?
I haven't really delved into that story as much.
Well,
but I did hear about it, and everybody was like going crazy over it because it was like 5 dudes, right?
Yeah, and
Something
she
like
was
that.
married. So well, let me.
And she was married.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Okay.
Let me bring up the speed. We gonna go touch back on, but far as her husband or whatever. But
Okay.
it's a 26-year-old police officer who was fired for having sex with multiple co-workers claimed she was groomed into the sexual situation. Says they preyed on her because she was young and new to the job. And she quote, "I was looked at as a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited." You know what I mean?
How old is she?
26. And now, and also, what is she saying? It says now she files a lawsuit claiming she slept with multiple colleagues because she was sexually groomed. So her name is Maegan Hall, and she
So when is she must have came there when she was really young, it sounds like. And then
no, I don't think so. I think she might have been 26 or maybe 25
when
or
she
something
first
like
got there?
Yeah.
Or when after now she's 26.
She's 26, but this just happened like I think last year, I believe.
When she first got there?
Yeah, when this whole sexual
okay.
thing happened, you know, since Maegan Hall was released in December 2022 from the Laverne Police Department. Her termination stemmed from an internal investigation that found she had sexual relationships with non-fire detective Seneca Shields, patrol officer Juan Lugo Perez, and Sergeant Lewis Powell, and Henry Ty McGowan. During her employment, Hall performed oral sex on Powell and Shields inside the station and police gym. She also confirmed multiple booty calls with Perez and McGowan. Among one of the most shocking acts was a threesome that took place between Hall and Patrol Officer Patrick Maglico and his wife, Maglico, along with Canine Officer Larry Holiday and Patrol Officer Gavin Schober, only face suspension. Hall has now sought legal action against the department. In the complaint filed on Monday, she maintained that she was the actual victim. The 26-year-old claims that while seeking role models in her in her position on the force, she found predators. She said, in place of offering professional development, her supervisors and the chief of police groomed her for sexual exploits. The suit read, that's what the suit reads. And the disgraced officer reports having difficult finding new employment following the intense backlash, blaming her multiple affairs on a possible separation from her husband. Hall claims the pressure even caused her to contemplate suicide. So, Kira, man, and I wonder if her husband is still with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know what to think about this case, honestly. It's kind of like, it's a little bit crazy that, that she's the only one that got fired, it sounds like.
Well,
the other guys got suspended.
A couple other guys. Yeah, but I think some got fired as well.
Okay.
She said
All
even
right.
the chief knew.
Okay.
Matter of fact, hold on a sec. I even have I got a sound
Maegan
bite.
Hall was 24 years old when she was hired as an officer here at the Laverne Police Department 2 years ago. Her plan was to have a career in law enforcement. She now knows that dream is likely over.
I remember while interviewing for the position at Laverne Police Department, they described the environment as a family. However, while I was aspiring to protect my community, the Laverne Police Department was not protecting me.
By now, most of the country knows what happened. Hall, 4 other officers, and the police chief were fired last month. This after
So they
two
were
separate
fired.
investigations found that Hall engaged in sexual activity and or shared intimate photos and videos with several male officers. The chief and 2 sergeants were among those implicated. Now Hall and her attorney, Wesley Clark, are suing those 3 supervisors and the city in federal court for civil rights violations.
Maegan wasn't looked at like a rookie cop to be trained and promoted. She was looked at as a piece of meat to be sexualized and exploited.
Since the story broke, Hall, the lone female officer fired and only woman on the second shift, became a target nationwide for sexual jokes and taunting.
I received harassing and threatening messages on my phone daily. I felt like I had been terrorized.
And yes, now she is suing. No criminal charges have been filed in the case. Hall knows there are those who will say she was a consenting adult who willingly participated in sexual antics in violation of police department policy, and that now she wants to blame others, including one sergeant who targeted her early on.
I know what most people are saying. You could have said no. I get it. But
Man, so you think she was a willing participant?
Oh yeah, come on now. I think she was. I think that I don't know. Maybe she was like naive on
You think it's
her part, but also I think the other guys have a little bit of blame too. I don't think it's all on her. Not that I'm trying to be an apologist for her or something, but yeah. I mean, I just think that one, this isn't the only place that this is going on.
Oh yeah. It's always sex in the workplace.
Yeah,
That's the place where it normally goes down.
Probably not as much as it used to be, right? But I mean, with the Me Too movement and whatnot. But I mean, I just think that I didn't think that this was going to be as big of a story as everybody made it out to be. But I guess because she slept with all 5 dudes or whatever,
and they were all black and I think one Hispanic.
Yeah.
And then she had a threesome with him and his wife. I mean, come on.
it is a weird case because she still was with her husband.
Yeah, and she kind of playing victim now.
Which he's basically a cuck. I mean, I'm just,
Is it cuckold?
I mean, isn't that isn't that how you say that? But
I wonder, did he give consent or he knew what was going on, or I guess one said she separated from him for a minute, but I think he's still with her, you know what I mean? But
that goes to show you right there, man. You got to watch out.
You gotta watch out, man. I mean, dude, that much going on. I mean, my thing is even if and I'm not saying allegedly if she's a victim or not or whatever it is and be. When I first started happening, why you didn't quit the force or reported them, then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you're getting slandered, and I on social media a lot of women are slandering her. They say, "Come on, girl, now you wearing glasses." One comment, "Oh, you wearing glasses now?" No, you know what I'm saying? And or white. Some people saying, "Oh, white privilege," and this and that and the third. So,
yeah,
I'm like, yo, you had a threesome with him and his wife. You know what I'm saying? With one guy and his wife.
Yeah.
And
so there was
booty calls with the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, now Kanye was wrong with his statement about slavery. When he said this sound like a choice, but what she doing, that sound like a choice. I mean, I'm just saying, come on now, that sound like a choice to me.
Yeah.
No,
I feel that.
But I think, because, she's victim now, and so.
Well, I mean, her lawyer is a genius. I think
Right.
this is the only way that you can kind of
That's
like,
she
spin
got to be a
things.
victim. Yeah.
Yeah, she has to be the victim. You know, she
has to be a
has
victim.
to, you know, and her career's over. People are gonna know who she is. She's probably gonna have to change her name.
Man,
I mean, like at this point, because everybody
Bruh.
knows who she is. You know?
and this is
So,
on
mean-
this is on Instagram. It's the neighborhood talk, right? And I'm gonna read some of the comments that some of the, and you know, these are women. Because first she didn't have on glasses, but when she did this particular one, she had on glasses. So one female, one lady says, all of a sudden she needs glasses. It's getting into character for me. Then another female said, girl, stop playing with me. She did exactly what she wanted to do. Then another female said, but you are an officer of the law. So if you are easily influenced, what stops you from being influenced to look the other way or simply lie? Either way, you don't need to be someone who upholds the law. Then let me see. Then someone else says they become victims when it comes to accountability.
Yeah.
It's genetic. You know what I'm saying? Then someone says, but she was mentally competent to have she was mentally competent to have access to a firearm and could execute someone on the spot. True. And then someone says, if y'all don't learn anything else, you better learn that, I guess it's supposed a snowball, supposed to be white women are taught to play victim at birth. Ooh. Not her doing an interview as if she's a victim. Man, so yeah, everybody's like, man, you know, a lot of people aren't buying it, man.
Yeah.
A lot of
What
people
would you
not
do
buying
if your wife was sleeping around on you?
What would I do? I would divorce her in a heartbeat.
Immediately.
And the words are the late great Bernie Mac. Immediately. Immediately. There's no reconciliation. Once you done had a man thing,
Wouldn't give her a
inside
second
you,
chance?
No, I'll never look at her the same. Once you had a man thing inside you, or you done give him head, and then you gonna expect
Yeah.
me to kiss you?
Yeah.
But did he finish in your mouth? I mean, like, what? I'm like, no, you are his woman now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I would say, man, you were never my woman then. It was just my turn. It was just my turn.
Just your turn,
It
man.
was just my turn.
Yeah.
What would
That's
you do?
wild, man.
You seem like you would work it out.
Nah.
You'd be like-
Not after 5 dudes, man. That's like too
I don't
much.
know, man. I get a
That's
vibe
too
from you,
much.
like you're like, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so it's just their word against hers. I think you would stay and work it out.
Nah, you know, I think naturally, you know, I'm a loner anyway. So like, you know, hey, if you want to go do that shit, like, fuck you.
But if
you
she's
know,
your
like,
wife, say y'all were married
that's
for
your
like
thing.
7 years. Y'all married 7 years. She never did anything.
I would look at it as, okay, this is my opportunity to start anew. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, like, again, like, if that's what they want to go do, I mean, and they're not happy here, like, go find your happiness.
You wouldn't. So if your wife
I
did
don't
that,
have
you wouldn't.
time
You
to,
wouldn't.
like-
And she begging for your forgiveness, and she'd do
Nah.
anything. You can check her phone, check up on her. You wouldn't take her back.
Nah, because, you know, I just feel like once you show yourself as that kind of person, you know, like, I'm good, you know, like I'm kind of cut and dry where it's just like, okay, do you, like, you know, I don't want to force you to be somebody you're not.
What if she
And
says,
so-
"I'm not that person. I just made a mistake"?
Nah.
With 5
I'm good.
men?
I'm
Or
good.
how many
Yeah,
times?
5 men, threesomes.
Hey, so
You know,
so I'm you know,
And who knows how long that was going
Going
on and how many times.
you think her
and-
husband knew?
I mean, he had to know. He
Either
had
she
to
hit
know.
it very well because normally and she worked the late shifts. He might think she working, you know, maybe calling for work, and she could be on the clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they detoured to somebody else's house and they got busy or whatever.
Nah,
you
he
know?
had to know, and I'm sure she probably told him at one point.
I think
or
he's
not.
going to stay with her. He's going to stay because she's playing the victim.
Couldn't be me. More
So
power to
hey,
him.
so
Couldn't
we
be
just
me.
2 men here. We have no women,
Uh-huh.
so we don't want to be sexist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's switch it. Let's
Uh-huh.
you did it, and your wife, you a cop, late shift, and you slept with but 5 dudes or 5 women or whatever the case may be, or maybe 3 dudes and 2 women. Now, you slept with other women. Do you think your wife, would you say, man, you know what, just leave me? Or, of course, you're going to try to work it out. You think she should take you back?
First off, I wouldn't engage in that kind of thing.
But let's say if you in her shoes.
But she going to have to take me back.
She going to have to take you? Why do you think she should take you back?
She going to have to take me back. I'm just too good,
You're too good. So, but even though you slept with 5 other women and she don't approve of that.
Listen, baby. It didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything? It was just sex?
It's just sex.
You can tell them, boy,
It's just sex.
Well, you can say, what, I fucked them, but I make love to you?
Exactly. She gonna have to take me back.
But what if she don't take you back?
She gonna have to take me back.
Oh, really? So you're not taking no for no answer?
Yeah, she gonna have to take me back. That's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. Oh,
but damn. I wouldn't engage in that kind of activity.
So you can cheat, but she can't. I'm not saying you would, but
I mean, this is gonna get into another conversation. But I just feel like, I think men and women are a little bit different. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Say it, man. This is the Black Summit. You black, ain't you?
I just think men and women are different. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or anything, but I mean, like,
too late for that. Go ahead.
There's two different. I think there's men cheat differently than women do.
Of course, yeah, that's a fact.
And
that's
so,
a fact.
like, and I think a lot of people know that, but a lot of people don't want to admit that, and so, I think for a lot of men, when they sleep around, it's not really, as emotionally charged, like, it's just like,
it's just sex.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's nature, man. I mean, I feel like we have a built-in chip or something, like, I don't know, but we don't have to get that, deep.
No. Go ahead, man. I hear what you're saying.
What do you think? What do you think?
Look, listen. I hear what you're saying. You're saying
I'm not about that life.
This is the way. Yeah, we know black men don't cheat, right? But you're saying the way men are programmed because they're hunters by nature, right? Meaning we the one who approach the women, so men pollinate, spread their seed around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I know what you're saying. You're not saying it's right.
I'm not saying that all men do that.
No, right.
Or all women do this or that. But the majority, No.
I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying you're not saying that it's right? You know what I'm saying? If you were a woman and you love her and she love you, y'all build together and y'all be together. You know what I'm saying? Just you and her.
Right.
You're pretty much saying, but if men do have multiple women, he necessarily doesn't have to get emotionally attached. Where women are not really built that way. So it's usually like if she's messing with someone else and she's married to you, she starts sleeping with somebody else, 9 out of 10, she's probably gonna get emotionally attached to the other person and then don't want to be with you, right? Because she's in what they call an affair fog, and until she snaps out of it and realizes, oh damn, I fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But I think in her case, I don't think she wasn't in an affair fog. I think she just kind of was like, shoot, I'm going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder what
because she was with 5 dudes. Obviously, I don't think she was emotionally attached to none of these dudes. I think she's just a freak.
How did it get to that point, though? How did it get to that point?
From working together, and you start off, it starts off with conversation, then a joke or two here and there. Yeah. And then, then the joke, a little conversation, a compliment here and there. And
so
joke,
that goes into what she was saying, though. She said she was groomed. To me, that's like grooming a little bit. It starts off slow.
I guess you can say that.
Doing little things, and then it turns into something
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you groom people who aren't unaware. You know what I'm saying? Like say if you took a teenager and you groom her, it don't even have to be nothing sexual. Say if you I want my house to be this way here, or your child or something like that, I want my kid to do this, and then I want her or my son or whatever to be this way here, so when they step out into the world, people can see them, at this particular standard. So you kind of groom them this way. And it can be something good. For example, like, do all your work. You know, when you always wear a suit and a tie and you keep your head and your posture be up straight. You kind of groom them that way, right? Because they're not aware of what's out there in the world. She's 26. She is aware, right? And granted, I see what you're saying. It may be kind of grooming, but then you kind of gave consent.
Yeah, she did.
You know what I'm saying? So
once I heard about the threesome, it's like
that was it for you.
There's no way to. I don't know.
And then with another woman, a man and his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Come on, man. And then you said dude would call you for late night booty calls.
Yeah.
So if you was with your husband, I don't know if you was with him or you separated, you know what time it was, but you went. You just didn't tell him like, nah, man, I'm done with this. You know.
Yeah.
I think when it all got exposed, when it hit the fan, that's when
she really started to have a problem or whatever.
Yeah, and being a nun, she can't, I guess, get jobs. So she's like, look, I got to sue them now. You know, I'm a victim.
She's gonna have to change her name. I'm telling you right now.
You think so?
She can't come back from that. You know?
I need to find her. I need to. No. Like, hey, you know,
Hey,
I'm like,
you didn't answer that
you can be a
question, though.
security
You
guard. You can't
dodged
be a
that
cop.
question.
What was the question?
Do men and women cheat differently?
Yeah, I agree. They do.
Okay.
Yeah. Women are emotional. Men are more physical.
Yeah.
Men are physical. Like a man can be married and be in love with his wife. And I'm not saying this right, and sleep with another woman and have no emotions. Like, remember the movie Ray?
Yes. Yeah.
When Ray had his wife Della, and then he was sleeping with Margie Hendricks.
Right.
And then she tried to get him to leave his family. And Ray, what Ray said? I ain't leave my family. You know what this is? You know what this is? She said, man, you already left your family from being with me and on the road. He said, what we do is on the road in business. I got a family. I ain't leaving my family for this. I'm not saying it's right, but men, and granted, that's not to say that some men won't have, because we're human, you won't have some type of emotional attachment to a female but if you sleep with her a lot. But some married men or men with a significant other can have sex with other women and don't love them. You may can care about their feelings or what have you, but they love their wife. I'm not saying it's right, but that's just the way that's just the way we are programmed, we are built, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just, if you choose not to cheat is the one thing. Whereas women go off their emotional attachment, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's harder for a man to take his wife back if she cheated, because sometimes she may have emotionally attached to the dude, and you go ask her, what you want to do? And sometimes she's like, I don't know, I'm confused. You're like, what the hell? We married 12 years. What the hell are you confused for? Because for her, it's more than sex. It's more than just sex. It's an emotional, emotional attachment. And that's why usually if a man cheating on his wife, first thing she may ask you love her? Like, what? What love got to do with this? I'm trying to bust a nut. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, But then you got, I've met some females who can sleep with multiple dudes and have no attachment now. Because I've slept with some of them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they were married, but they had boyfriends or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you got a few females who can they got male mentality. They can sleep with a dude, and you can be their man, and they can turn around and sleep with me on the low and sit right back in your face. Hey, boo, you hungry? You got a few out there that can do that now. And then you got some men
gotta watch out
who are emotional and they can't they emotionally attached and they can't be with multiple women like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just a choice you make. And at the end of the day, the moral is just don't do it.
Yes.
If you got somebody you love and you with that person and y'all with one another, you don't want to hurt her, you don't want her to hurt you,
just say no.
Yep. Black men don't cheat. Be faithful. Chris Rock says, just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. But I think that's it for us.
That's it for us.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining the Black Summer. We hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of a podcast on this small rock that we call Earth. I'm Hendricks.
And I'm Brooks.
Stay tuned. We catch you later. Peace and love. Out.
Peace.